I'll say this: if I leave, my allergies get better every time. We get everything here. They'll be okay.
we got Texas Army.
This is Texas Tech, so I'm still recording the celebration stuff.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
I put Texas on the Texas one.
Perfect.
So you get the next one.
Basic. Holy crap. Yeah. Obviously, some of these people will be questions. Maybe. Somebody, we might just need a little chair. Somebody sits next to me.
They brought an extra mic.
Yeah, we got, space to 7 and coach.
So maybe her and these for sure.
Right.
There's theirs.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Okay, I'll take these down and see if I can get them moving along. Obviously. Center, Coupon,
Right.
and Mitchell, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Work it out from there.
No, I'm looking. Camouflage, very smart. It's a smart spider. Let him live.
No, keep them in the middle. Where Jerry is now.
I got you.
Thank you. That changes my whole, changes my whole plan.
You don't know how to say this?
Do it highlight style. Just say it fast enough and it'll sound right. You know what I mean, David. Do you remember Obo that played at OU?
Obo with Sam.
Okoronkwo?
Yeah, I
he had-
never learned how to say that.
Yeah, he had a scoop and score in like a spring game before anybody knew he was. And it was like deadline. When I saw the name, I just said it really fast. My boss goes, "How'd you do that?" I go, "I don't know if it was right. I just went really fast. It sounded good."
Good. Sounds accomplished.
You say it right.
I don't think so. It's close enough.
But nobody did.
Texted ASAP who the names are?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually just send them a picture of all the nameplates.
Okay.
Sports. Can't be both live and sports. We have to use the same camera. Why I'm not live, I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Hey, they actually referenced that in that movie Draft Day.
Yeah. It's not always easy.
At least you're not doing graduation.
Oh gosh, yeah. Just the news we needed, right?
I'm not doing it, but I'm going to do it.
Let me double check. It's a good question. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
She might have a box score. I don't need one. It's fine.
All right, we're joined by Texas Tech head coach Jerry Glasco and players Nigeria Candy, Demi Elder, and Lexa Langoliers. A reminder to please silence your cell phones. Then when you get the mic to ask a question, to give your name and media affiliation. Recording of the press conference with your cell phones is prohibited. And if you're on the Zoom and want to ask a question, make sure to use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Glasco, then to go to questions just for the players, and then go back to questions just for Coach Glasco. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Okay. Tremendous experience getting to come here and play in front of unbelievable atmosphere that's provided every night in the Hall of Fame Stadium by the softball fans that fill this place. Just absolutely unparalleled experience as a player and coach, in my opinion. So tremendous crowds all week, and then the interest that you're seeing in college softball, I think, is at an all-time high, even on ESPN and on TV. So just been an incredible tournament from that aspect. As far as the play on the field, huge congratulations to Texas. They've got an outstanding ball club. When the year started, I thought if, the beginning of the season, I would have ranked them as the number one team in the country, a team that I expected to compete really high all year for the national championship. And I think they came through the SEC and went into the tournament, a little bit. They had a little spell, seemed like in a month or so to go, but then righted the ship. And as they went through the NCAA tournament, they just kept getting better and better. I'm thrilled for Coach White, just absolutely thrilled to see him get that national championship. When you look at his coaching career and his playing career, it's just historic. And I think he's won every single regional since he's been a head coach. And he's been here, and I think it was his third time in the finals. I'm sure it was a lot. And he had all the great teams at Oregon, and he didn't get that title. And then to see him get that and fulfill that tonight, I'm so proud for him and his family and all the players that's played for him through the years. It's going to mean a lot to everybody. And then the Texas program is they just were really talented and really classy. We play there every year at their tournament for the last 4 or 5 years, and so we have those friendships, that bond. I'm just proud and happy to them, and congratulate them on an outstanding tournament and the way they played. As far as Texas Tech, just for these kids to come out and do what they did, to have a new coach, a new coaching staff. Three returning players come back from last year. Go to work in the 1st of August and start grinding and trying to learn, how to play for a new coach and a new staff. And then to end up in this position, playing for the national title, making it go all the way to 3 games. Just a historic season. And I'm really proud of my team and the effort that they give us from top to bottom. I think anytime you get to coach players like Alexa and Demi, our seniors, I'm thrilled for them to get to go out on the biggest stage at the last game of the year. They got every game they could have got, and just really proud of their leadership and what they've been. And it's been really 2 great individuals that our team has been able to rally behind and help use as motivation to get them to the World Series and try to win the championship. And on my left, Nigeria Kennedy. I've been around a lot of softball players. I've never been around a better teammate and a better person. Straight A student all year, goes to every practice, first one to work, last one to leave. Has played through injury, has played through, just give us everything she got. And I can't imagine anybody that I'd rather, if I had a game in 2 days, that's who I want beside me to go to war with. She's an unbelievable talent. I believe she's a top player in college softball. I think that she's provided a great role model for any youth softball player in the country when you know how good she is on the field and how good she is in the classroom, and then how good of a teammate she is in her standards of everything is of excellence. So our team in general, I'm just so proud they get us to this stage, and we're able to find a way to get better and better throughout the postseason, and then to give us everything they give us here at the World Series. I know they're going to be devastated for a day or so, but when they look back on this thing a month or two from now, they'll realize how much they've accomplished and how historic this season they provided us, and then they'll realize that they've set the standard for Texas Tech softball to build off of and go forward with.
Okay, well, open questions for players. Second row right, Eli.
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Nigel, you've spoken along the way here about how important this all was to you. Now that it's over, can you describe what it took to manage this workload and a bit even about how you were feeling when you left the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every college softball player right now is tired. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. Just playing softball and just fighting for the three people to my right. And I mean, I wanted, obviously we wanted a different result, but I wanted to leave it all out for my teammates and most importantly, my seniors.
Okay, we go front row left.
Ryan Campos, CBS Lubbock. Demi and Alexa, can you guys just talk about the fight you guys had? Obviously not the start you wanted, but whether it was the crowd, you guys rallied, and it seemed like you guys never gave up really till that final out. Just talk about the fight that you guys, had throughout all 7 innings tonight.
I'm really proud of how our team has come together, and I think we've shown that throughout the whole season. It's not just this game that we showed that in, and I think it's just something extraordinary to be a part of, and I know next year is going to be even better for them.
Okay, we go third row to right.
Erica Ayala with CBS Sports. For Demi, I would like to ask you, as you sit here now, you've been able to see this program grow. What stands out to you? What are you proud of?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is that everyone loves each other. Not one person talks bad about each other. We don't have cliques. We don't have anything. We're just a family, and that I know next year that it's just going to be even better.
Okay, front row left, David.
For Alexa, David Collier, ABC Lubbock. What has your journey with Coach Glasgow meant? I mean, obviously, he's an important individual for you to make this trip here and then to be able to get to this point with him and your teammates from Louisiana, obviously.
I mean, it's meant everything to me. I mean, coming in as a freshman, I never expected to truly be here. I mean, that was always a goal, and that's what we always push for. But, just actually being able to experience it with him is just something I'll never forget.
Okay, we go second row right, Kirk.
Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. Nigel, if you could take us through that first inning where you just kind of worn out even before the game started with your workload, and do you feel like Tegan kind of has your number in any way?
No, I feel fine. Like I said before, I have all summer to rest. And, yeah, she's obviously a really good pitcher, but she got the better hand today.
All right, we go front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just, Demi, in this day and age, it's very easy to change teams, especially when your previous head coach left. What has it been like just where Texas Tech and just what this program means to you?
Yeah, I think I had 4 coaches since I've been here, so a lot of ups and downs and stuff, but to end here and to end with Coach Glasgow is probably, oh God, I'm going to cry.
Keep breathing, you're good.
It's pretty special, and I literally would tell everyone to go play for Glasgow.
Okay, we go front row right, Thomas.
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Nyjah, Texas got to 2, World Series finals before they won one. This is your first final series. What do you hope to learn from this? What do you think the team has learned from these 3 games that can help you next year?
Yeah, actually, that was what I was just thinking about. So many teams here have had to kind of get to the World Series first and learn a lesson and then go back and obviously learn, like Texas did it last year. Obviously, Oklahoma had their historic run. It's very rare for a team, especially we had 3 returners. So, yes, this year wasn't how we wanted it to go. It's not how we wanted it to end. But to be able to go to have a team that didn't even make it to a regional the year before and to come to the final, to push a 3rd game, the national championship series, I feel like that means a lot. So, yes, that wasn't the outcome we wanted, but I feel like we're all very proud of what we did in literally a year time.
Okay, front row left.
Nathan Geese, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Now, just kind of to that point, you're the only one up here that'll be back next year. What's kind of the motivating driving factor coming off of this, going into next year with a pretty good chunk of this team coming back?
Yeah, I think it's just going to make us better for next year. like we said, we're losing two amazing seniors, but I feel like we have a really young team, especially Sam those last couple innings. She came in, and to be a freshman, to never played on that stage and to go up against that lineup, and I think she held them scoreless. Like, she didn't give a run to that lineup, and for that being her first time in the World Series, I feel like that means a lot, and that's just setting us up for next year.
Okay, front row left, David.
For Demi and Alexa, I mean, Coach mentioned it. Obviously, you're frustrated now, but when you think about this a year from now, what's it going to mean to be part of the team that potentially started the first of many trips to Oklahoma City?
I'm devastated right now, but at the same time, I've looked at this season with fondness. Like, just being able to be a part of something that means so much to like the community of Lubbock is something I'll never forget. And being able to play with this group of girls is just amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, I think it's pretty special.
All right, we'll go second row left.
Ty Kaplan of the Daily Toledo. Coach Glasgow kind of mentioned it in the opening statement about how much softball is growing right now. For all three of you, what has it meant to just be a part of a program that's putting, it's Tech softball on the map, and also just softball in general in the viewership of so many new people?
It means a lot. I feel like we got each and every year I've been here, honestly, it just gets bigger and bigger, and I feel like more eyes are on the sport. Of course, that comes with like positives and negatives. There's always like negative attention that comes with it, but I feel like for the whole and just growing the sport and just giving younger girls something to look up to, it means a lot.
Have time for one more if anybody wants another one. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say that I think it's awesome to see this sport growing and getting closer to like how a lot of people view baseball. And I think one day softball will be on the same level as baseball, and to be a bigger part of why that is pretty cool.
Okay, that'll wrap things up for players. Thank you, players. Are dismissed. You can take your name cards if you want to, too. Questions for Coach Glasgow? Start front row right. Thomas.
Thomas Jones, Last American Statesman. Jerry, Nyjah carried such a workload for you guys this year, and she's so good. Do you want to lessen that workload next year? And do you think, did she just hit a wall in that first inning, or what do you think happened?
Absolutely. I think that we pushed it to the very limit. I think the kid gave us everything that she had, and I think the first inning was just a result of, a great hitting team, a well-coached team, a well-prepared team, coming up against somebody that they faced 3 days in a row. And if you looked, all you had to do was look at the velocity the first night compared to the second night and then the night. And it was slowly edging away. At the same time, you're dealing with a great competitor, and you can't let her pitch all year and then take the ball away from her. And so it's just the game got us. The game teaches the game. The game got us right there. What a incredible performance when you look at what she did the whole season carrying our team, especially when you really know the extent of the injuries that she fought through. And I hated it. I hated to see her. I almost switched before, and I wished I had it, but it was just 2-0, and you're just used to watching her get out jam after jam after jam throughout the year, and come out when somebody makes a threat. She just usually comes out clean, and I was hoping that she'd do that one more time. But yeah, definitely, I think the amount of innings got to her. Our number one goal next year will be develop a couple more pitchers to keep her innings down. She's close to 250 innings, and I think next year we'd love to see her come into World Series somewhere like 150 to 175.
Okay, we go front row left.
Coach Glasgow, Ryan Campos, CBS Lubbock. Just talk about the team's fight throughout the night. Obviously not the way you guys wanted it to start, but also the fight the girls had, and also how much did it help with the crowd that almost seemed to help rally them in.
Yeah, I thought that it was really important in that first inning. I wish we could have made a threat. We'd had our last two games. I think we'd had the bases loaded in the first inning, and really at least get through the order and get into the top of the order the second time, pretty early in the game. and we didn't get off to a good offensive start, and then Texas come in, and I think it was the second batter of the game, hit the high hop to shortstop. You know, when you take into account the speed of the runner, you'd like to charge that ball, but the kid also is unreal speed and beat it out, and they had rally. They just got rallied. They had something to rally around. They're elitely talented. Mia Scott did what Mia Scott's done the whole World Series. She got a great hit. I think Atwood got a hit, and next thing you know, you're 2-0, and then they get the 3-run homer. It's 5-0. So I just think the game just didn't go the way we wanted it to go.
Okay, we go second row right, Cedric.
Hey, Jerry, Cedric Golden, Austin American-Statesman. You know, Texas has been close 2 out of the last 3 years, and they paid some dues to get here. And maybe this was just their moment. What kind of mental notes do you think your girls are taking, having gone through this experience, especially with a lot of them coming back along with Nyjah?
Yeah, I think that this team gave us a phenomenal base to go forward with. You know, even to get me in a position to be to go through the World Series and then get a play in the final series and to go 3 games. It was an experience that I needed as a head coach, and I'm thrilled I got. I think we're in a great place to go back in to campus and start working on next year. And believe me, we will. We want to use the accomplishments of this team to be the foundation of the future. And I think I owe it to the senior class. I owe it to those 2 seniors and to make sure this program continues to get better each year. And with everything I have, I'll try to come back with a better team next year than we had this year, because the players deserve me to do that, and the program deserves me to do that.
Okay, we go third row right.
Okay. Erica Ayala with CBS Sports. Coach, there's been a lot of conversation, of course, about Nyjah and the money that she was able to receive to come here as a transfer. When you sit here now, knowing what the program was able to do on the field, what is the balancing act of being able to utilize that in recruitment and also be able to grow not just this program, but to be able to get more eyes on the sport overall?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, there's a lot of conversation about NIL, and I'm by no means an expert, and I'm not the person to talk on the subject. But I think it's phenomenal that young athletes are getting in a position where they can come out of their college playing days without having a student loan that they're paying on for the next 10 years. And I'm thrilled that a player of the caliber of Nyjah Kennedy can take advantage of her success and her hard work that she's given to the sport and given to the schools that she's at. I think it's interesting. You watch Ohio State in the men's football game, national championship game. You don't hear any announcers talking about NIL. They just don't talk about it, and yet you know Ohio State had one of the highest 2 or 3 NIL payrolls last year in college football. I wonder why we talk about it for a female athlete. Like, why does a female athlete getting a substantial amount of NIL money, when you look at the exposure that Texas Tech softball has gotten this year on national stage? Simply when she signed, I think it was 3 days after she signed, they said there was somebody told me there was over 700,000 Associated Press type articles where they said Stanford, Texas Tech, and Nyjah Kennedy and softball all in one little, 700,000 times you got mentioned. And then you look at the exposure she brought to us, and I think we now played 10 or 11 games on national TV. You're talking 120 minutes. Why is it different for a female athlete to be paid $1 million than a male football player getting $3 million or $4 million, or a male basketball player? I think that's an interesting question, because the value of Nyjah Kennedy to our program is I think it's unbelievable. I'm not an expert. Somebody could really do an in-depth subject, but I have no doubt it would exceed $1 million of value. I think it was a great value for our school. So I think that our sport, I'm thrilled for the athletes that are getting to take advantage. I also think that we have to use great caution. I think we need, it's a new policy. It's a new, I don't know what the right word, but it's a new situation, and obviously a lot of rules and guidelines need to be used or established in the coming years. But I'm just personally, I'm thrilled for Nyjah. I found it almost insulting to her at times when I listened to broadcasts how much they talked about it, because like I said, I don't hear it when we watch a men's basketball game or a men's football game. And to me, that's not right. That shouldn't be that way.
Okay, last one, front row left, David.
David Collier, ABC Lubbock coach. Obviously, both seniors mean something to you, but your connection with Alexa and getting to make this journey with her, what's that meant to you?
You know, I'm thrilled she was here. Alexa's one, when I left, I didn't get a call every player, the way the whole thing when I switched jobs, but I told the seniors, all the seniors I thought should stay. I said, you should, in my opinion, you probably should stay at Louisiana, and especially take a real long look before you make a decision, because she had quite a career at Louisiana, and that's an outstanding program. It's a great place. The fans are passionate, and I thought if all the seniors stayed, they would have a great team. And so my first suggestion was to Alexa was to stay right there at Louisiana. It was her best scenario. And you're also going into your senior year towards graduation, and that's a tricky time to be transferring because of hours, and you want to get out of college and get to work. Long story short, I don't know when it was, but it was quite a bit later, like 5 or 6 weeks later, that she called me. She said, I went on the portal, and would you take me? And even at that point, I wasn't sure, because I really wasn't wanting to recruit seniors. I wanted to recruit kids that would be in our program for 2 or 3 years. And I said, well, come over and we'll discuss it, because she's a great player and a good person, great person. And she came over, we sat down, we talked about it, and she came, and it's been really a thrill to get a spin with her and coach her and get her spend this last semester with her, or 2 semesters, but especially this semester on the playing field. I think she worked harder this year than I've ever seen her work hard. She was 4.0 in the classroom in the fall. Had a great fall, and then we had a strength and conditioning coach. They give a strength and conditioning award, and I was shocked when she won that. Like he thought she worked harder in the weight room than any athlete in our program, and I don't go to weights every day. I very seldom go, but I would have picked a lot of people that I would have thought would have worked harder in the weight room. But I thought it said so much about her that she came in here her senior year, and in the weight room, the weight coach felt she worked harder than any other athlete on our roster. And we got some kids that work really hard in the weight room. So I think that to see her grow and be that determined, her mindset, and then at second base, I don't know what it is now, but a couple of weeks ago I looked, it was 982 fielding percentage. For a middle infielder in the Big 12 Conference to have a 982 fielding percentage, that's elite. And our infield and our defense from the start of the Big 12 Conference has been a really high-level defense, and she was a huge part of it. So to watch her grow and finish her career on this stage and in this environment, and then with her individual results and leadership on our team, I think she had a lot to do with Haley Toney and Bailey having great freshman years. I think her senior leadership was huge. So while I didn't originally think that Texas Tech was necessarily a good place for her or a place she should look at, I was wrong. I think it turned out to be absolutely a great senior year for her. And on that's that way because that's what she made it. she chose to come here, and she chose to make it a great senior year. So I'm thrilled to been a part of it. I love the kid. I've been around her since I recruited her in high school. So it was a tremendous privilege to get to watch all that unfold.
All right, that'll wrap things up for Texas Tech. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Can you take all these old waters and bring them down there? Okay, we good? All right, we're joined by Texas head coach Mike White, most outstanding player Tegan Cavan, and the Longhorn seniors. Please make sure to silence your cell phones. Give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. And if you're recording in the press conference with your cell phones, prohibited. And if you're on the Zoom and you want to ask a question, use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach White, go to questions just for the players, and then go to questions just for Coach White. So.
Well, obviously, I want to thank everybody that organized the tournament, the umpires. Did a great job, and the grounds crew as well. Obviously, there was a little bit of weather to deal with, but it went well. I'd like to thank my administration, Chris Del Conte, Sarah Baumgardner, just everybody. I mean, there's so many people to thank. You just start thanking them, and you forget people and leave them out. But hats off to my team. We faced some adversity early on in the season with losing Vivi Martinez to an ACL injury. Went through some trials and tribulations, but finally we came through. Went through a patch where we didn't play very well, but we stuck together, and they came together as a team, and they had each other's backs, and they were determined. And same thing happened last night, and that was the talk this morning, was having each other's backs and being ready to play and compete against one of the best pitchers in the country. And the team that Jerry Glasco has put together is first class. Heck, first time as a head coach make it to the College World Series. I don't know, man, that's pretty awesome. So it took me 8 times to finally. I've been in the World Series 8 times. Finally won one. It's kind of surreal right now, but thank you to all these ladies, the seniors especially, for their contribution to the program. We talked about leaving New Jersey in a better place, and they've certainly left Jersey in a better place, and Texas softball is better for them having been part of this program, and we can't wait to start again next year.
Okay, we'll go to questions for players. With so many players, make sure you say who you want your question towards for me. So we'll start with front row left at Jenny.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Tegan, I know he's sitting right beside you, but I wanted to ask you about Mike and just how I know he would defer and say it's all about what you guys have done, but how would you describe the fingerprints that he's put on this program to get you guys to this national championship?
Yeah, without Coach White, I don't know if we're here. He's the best. He is so competitive. He wants it just as bad as we do, of course, and he pushes us to be better every day. And so he makes me a better pitcher mentally and physically. And so there's no one else I'd rather play for. He's a bomb, and I'm glad we got it done for him.
Okay, we go front row right, Thomas.
Thomas Jones, Austin American-Statesman. Katie, you're a senior. You've been through 2 series that you guys lost. Now you win this. Can you put in perspective what this means, especially after losing the 2 previous championship series?
Yeah, it just means so much. And I mean, all the seniors up here, to go out like this is the best thing you can ever dream of for your softball career. And I think, Vanessa, Sophia, Mia, we were all together that first year, and, losing the OU in that first series. And then again last year, just, we didn't want to go out like that this time. So we fought as hard as we could, no matter what our role was. And I think we are all just so happy.
Okay, second row right, Cedric.
Cedric Golden, Austin American-Statesman. For Mia, well, what the hell, where'd she go? Well, I guess for Mac Morgan, Mac, you guys were so close to being knocked out of the tournament in your own house. How big was that win over Clemson, and did that galvanize you guys to get you to this point?
Yeah, it was obviously a big win, but I mean, we did what we did all year, relying on each other and just going out there and competing and not wanting to go out. And we wanted to go out in a good way, and we did just what we wanted to do.
Okay, second row right, Kirk.
Tegan, Kurt Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. I think you're 5-0 now against Nyjah. So do you feel like you've gotten enough due or credit for the pitcher you are, and do you feel like you're the best pitcher in softball?
No, I think there's plenty before me and plenty right now. We're all great, and happy. I think it's my team. That's who gets the wins, not just me. And so it's our whole team. That's what we kept talking about. We're talking about the whole team, and I love this team.
Okay, we'll go stay in the second row right.
Sophia Sandoval, the Daily Texan. To any of y'all, this season has been a roller coaster. Had a slump in the middle, took some series losses, didn't have Vivi, lost in the SEC tournament. Do those moments make this championship that much sweeter, and how are y'all able to come together as a team and peak at the right moment?
I would just say that, there's not anything that good that comes out of whatever this is without any adversity. So, I mean, everybody has their own things that they go through, but we stuck together. So even just a couple weeks ago when, we were in the SEC tournament, we were just like, how are we going to do this? And we finally sat down and we said we are going to do this because we believe in each other and we believe in ourselves. And so the last couple weeks is what was most important. It was a new season. And, I mean, you look back now and you kind of just laugh at the things that we ran into throughout the year. This is what's most important right now.
Okay, front row right, Brady.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just for anyone except for Tegan, what was it like watching her pitch this week? And, she went 37-plus innings without giving up an earned run.
I think it was awesome. Just watching her do her thing out there. Very inspiring. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's very fun to be your teammate. Very loving, kind person. Someone to miss. Someone you're going to miss a lot.
Yeah, I think, too, even though she's a sophomore, she plays like she's a fifth year. I mean, it seems like she's been here for a long time. And, not many people can go out there their second year and play like a super senior. And she does that every single game. And, like Max said, she's just a great person. And, I mean, this week, we were kind of playing for her. She had the loss of her grandmother. And I think that just really fueled us a lot, was to go out there and play for her and just be able to say that we were able to do it.
Okay, front row left, Thomas.
Thomas Jones, Austin American-Statesman. Jolie, you guys have seen Nyjah a lot now. You finally got to her today. What was the difference? What made you guys as a team, touch her a little bit today? What did you see from her throwing, and what was your mindset when Leanne hit that home run, and then Nyjah didn't come back out? What were y'all thinking?
I mean, plans can't really change. I mean, you have to just attack. What we did change was, recognizing that we did well late in the game yesterday. And we said, hey, why don't we just turn around and do that the first inning tomorrow? And so, I mean, our plan really didn't change. We were talking about being out front, being on time, picking good pitches to hit. When Leanne hit the home run, it's just kind of like that just – I mean, we had already sparked a little bit of a fire, but that's a huge fire. And that's big from Leanne. I mean, Leanne's a huge part of this team, and so I'm really happy that she got that at bat and did that for us. Then again, I mean, the game still doesn't change if Nyjah's not out there. I mean, you still have to go out there and play. You still have to pick good pitches to hit, be on time. I mean, I'm not going to say that it made the game a little easier. We ran into some adversity today, but we came out on top. And so I just think that this team has been through a lot, and for them and all of us to just go out there and do our thing is what's most important. And I love this team with every bit of me.
Okay, we go back right corner.
Chris Brown with TexasLonghorns.com. For each of the seniors, how does this feel, especially the third time and then just your first one to cap your career?
Okay. It's surreal. It's a surreal moment. I mean, every little kid dreams of winning the World Series, let alone going to it. And we've been fortunate enough to go 3 times. The 4 seniors, four of us that have gone 3 times now. And it's just so much fun. And I think that we can all agree as seniors, like, we are definitely leaving this program, not only just the jersey, in a better place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great feeling knowing this is how my career ends as a softball player, and gonna miss every one of these girls that I play with each and every day. But it's such a good feeling that we've relied on each other this far, and we've got it done.
This is why I came to Texas. Traded in my green and gold for the burnt orange, and went through a lot, being sick, and remember laying there and thinking that I'll never play softball again. And I'm really grateful for this program, and I'm really grateful for Coach White and Coach Singh calling me within like 15 minutes of entering the transfer portal. This is everything I dreamed of as a kid, and I mean, I can't imagine doing it with anybody else. The 19 girls beside me and the staff that we have, those are the people you want to be beside, and I'm glad I get to share this moment with them for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't think I could have ever dreamed that it would have ended this way. And, I've got a lot ahead of me in my life, but these 4 years are going to be the years that I remember the most. And these girls have just been the best. And even some of the alumni who I played with throughout the years, like, they'll be my bridesmaids in my wedding, and I'll be theirs. And there's just no better way to end this. And I can't thank the girls enough, especially, my class being there all 4 years. Like, we went through a lot, but we made it here, and it's a dream come true. That's all I can say.
Oh, gosh. Okay. 9-year-old Vanessa would have never thought that she would be in this place. I'm just so eternally grateful for the experience and journey that I've had. And I'm so blessed to call these girls around me my teammates. And it's been a roller coaster just going from my freshman year to now. So, I mean, I'm just grateful and blessed. That's all I can say.
Right, that'll wrap things up for players. You guys are dismissed, and you can take your name cards with you as you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we'll start questions for Coach White, third row, right.
All right, Coach, over here, Noah Gross from KXN. Congratulations. If you could just put into words what this means to you. I know girls were just talking about how emotional it is for them. I assume it's got to feel similar to you.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process the whole thing. Actually, it's something you dream about. I mean, first of all, I started dreaming about going to the World Series. I mean, that's never easy, and then finally achieving that. Actually, when we beat Texas at Texas in the Super Regionals to go to the first College World Series, and in 2012, I think it was, and that was like stepping onto another thing. Just it was completely different. It was like the big major leagues, basically, is what it was. And then so now to fast forward to this point in time, having been here 8 times, to 3 national finals, and then to finally win it, and it's amazing. It's you can't do it without good people behind you either. I've had great administrations at both places, excellent coaching staffs. That's just really important. Coach Singh, associate head coach, Kristen Zaleski, and Patty Ruth Taylor have all played immense parts in this. So it's really a combination of everything, and I'm just the lucky one to be sitting here right now.
Okay, we'll go second row right to Kirk.
Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle. Congrats, Mike. When you're going through that first inning, I was trying to think what your emotions were when you put up a 5 spot. And would you say this is your best team ever, or is this the team that played the best?
That's a really hard question to say. It was like the question I got asked about, the best pitcher. I mean, that was it's really hard to say. It's really, can you produce on the day and do what you need to do? And obviously this team produced. And I got asked that question. I got asked that question by Gwen Savekis from Oregon, because we went to 5 of them, and they said, what's the difference between this team and Texas team? And, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Maybe it's just I learned something along the journey. Then maybe I could coach them a little bit better way. Everything kind of gels together, and you can't really put your finger on one thing, to tell you the truth. And so it's just a culmination of all the experience that you gained. And I've said this before, you can't practice being here. You've got to be here to do this. And so my journey of 8 years has finally paid off, and I'm so proud of these young ladies for helping me achieve that part of my goal. And I'm looking forward to hopefully doing it again. Well, sorry?
The first inning, your emotions?
Oh, the first inning, I was like, holy cow, what's going on? It's like, we haven't had the lead yet. So, someone asked me that, we want to get a lead, but put up 5. Obviously Nigel was tired, and if that's a fresh arm, so I don't know whether our strategy to kind of play off on game 2 by throwing the rest of our other staff, which we thought we could win with them too, don't get me wrong, it just didn't turn out that way. But saving Tegan for this opportunity, I think it obviously it paid off, so the players can make you look good in those decisions.
Okay, we'll go front row left.
Coach Erica Ayala with CBS Sports. You've talked a few times already about being able to get this win after several tries, but in that time, a lot has changed in the NCAA and, of course, in softball, and a lot of that came to a head with this matchup with Texas Tech. When you think about how you were able to win, do you think that that is something that can be replicated by your program or other programs, given how much is changing in college softball?
Well, that's the great unknown right now, and my athletic director, Chris Conde, said it's like sailing out in a flat world and coming off the edge. We just don't know what's going to be out there yet, especially the way the landscape's changing, and who knows what it's going to be. What it is right now is just what it is, but what makes it difficult is not knowing what you're competing against in some respects. It's great that these athletes are able to kind of earn a living now, which is great, or get paid for what they do, and that's awesome. But it's also hard to compete. It started with the transfer portal, and we've certainly, my first year at Texas, we were able to bring in 4 transfers from Oregon. So it's just changed, and we just got to change with it, and like it or not, it is what it is. And as you can see, the sport itself is still growing, and that's what I'm most proud about, is being a part of the sport right now.
Okay, we'll go second row right, Cedric.
Hey, Mike, Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Mr. Del Conte sitting down from me. You can renegotiate Tegan's deal right now if you'd like, with America watching. Seriously, to see you guys knock Nyjah out of the game, and then Tegan's the last pitcher standing, how gratifying is that to you to see her come of age this season?
Yeah, just watching her mature, she's never really been rattled per se. Even when she's given up some runs, it's you don't see it, the emotion on her face. Obviously, she cares about it, and she doesn't want that to happen, but she doesn't get down. She doesn't dwell on things. She's able to bounce back with resiliency, which is great as a pitcher.
Okay, we'll go front row right, Brady.
Brady Vernon, Sophomore America. Just building off of that, just Can you put into words just how special what she just did the last 10 days it was?
Yeah, I mean, to beating the teams we beat, anytime you can beat Oklahoma in Oklahoma, it's a feat. And so Niger Canada was able to do that after we did it. But they're, as I said before, they were always number one until someone knocked them off, and they were still number one until Texas Tech took them out of the tournament. I mean, I didn't know who I wanted to win that game. To tell you the truth, it was like the devil or not, It fortunately worked out for us, and we were able to kind of beat some really, really good teams. And Tegan Gavan just pitching, just amazing, and the rest of the staff kind of helped out as well. I mean, we were careful throughout the year not to overthrow her and enable her to have the energy at the end. We checked, I think, before the postseason, it was 140 innings, which ranked her about maybe 15th or 16th in number of innings thrown. So we're real careful not to overthrow her. And so enable her to kind of have this stretch run.
Okay, we'll stay front row right. Thomas?
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Mike, when you first got to Texas and you took a look at the program, what were some of the priorities for you long term, and how have those manifested themselves, winning a title?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things I said I wanted to do was recruit the best kids and keep the best kids in Texas, because a lot of our best kids were playing for other programs, and it was difficult too because you had the early transfer, the early recruiting was happening. Seventh graders were committing, and so if you missed out on that cycle, it took you a while to get that through. I mean, I think Keegan Rothrock was like one of the last ones of the early recruiting cycle at Florida, kind of come out of it. And now, of course, we have the juniors. September 1 we can contact now, so that's changed things a little bit. So it took a while to kind of develop that because of the recruiting rules. You had to wait for things to go through so you could really start getting the top recruits. We feel like we're starting to finally get into that right now with the top recruits coming in. We had a small class this year. We got a bigger class coming in next year and even bigger coming on. So we're hoping that we can continue to build this as we go.
Okay, we'll go second row left over here. Tim?
Tim Willard, Associated Press. Mike, you talk about the changing landscape, and a federal judge has signed off on that settlement agreement that schools can now pay athletes as much as $20 million beginning next month, I believe. How does that further change the landscape for you and your program?
If that happens in softball, we're in trouble. So, I mean, I don't really know per se. Is that something that just happened? I didn't know about that. So it's news to me, so I haven't had a chance to really kind of comment on that. But as I said, the changing landscape does change all the time. We're going to have to adapt to it. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is right now, and we'll have to find a way.
Okay, we go second row right. Eli?
Eli Letterman, ESPN. Mike, you spoke about how many tries it took to get to this point, to be sitting there with this trophy. I'm curious if along the way personally there were any doubts or moments where you wondered if you would be sitting here, and as you get back to Austin after this, what is different for the program now that moving forward that you've done this?
Yeah, doubts, no, not really. I mean, it's always a dream, and it's always pushing you up. I love the way up. On the way up, it's like you just grind and you go for it, and you just keep changing, and you remix the formula, and you just keep trying. And now the next thing is the next step. Can we come back and repeat and get it back here again? But no doubts. I believe in myself, and I believe in the coaches, the staff that I have, and I believe in the athletes we recruit. And my dream is, like I tell the players, no champions are not born that way; they're made. And so it's our opportunity to make them into better athletes, more mentally strong, tougher, and the ability to play the game.
Okay, we go front row right. Thomas?
Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. And kind of to that point, I mean, your job is year-round now with the portal. I believe it's open now, or it's going to open. Sure. So you don't really get to, enjoy this because you have to think about building your team next year. From a coach's perspective, do you wish the portal schedule would change with softball?
Yeah, I wish it would. I mean, truthfully, we've already been contacting some players, because you have to. It's open. So what else are you supposed to do? And then recruiting starts this Saturday, So that's the first opportunity to go out. I mean, it is very condensed, and then it goes through the second week of August, and then you finally get a little bit of a break and it's back into school. So it's like getting on this treadmill and just you keep trying to catch up and just keep going. There's very little time to sit back. But I do wish they would do something with the transfer portal as far as allowing it not to open until after the College World Series, so we can really concentrate on playing our opponents.
Okay, I have time for one more. Okay.
What's that?
How are you going to celebrate?
I got a trip to Hawaii in the middle of August, so that's going to be my downtime, and then I'll think about playing a little bit of golf too. So,
on that note, aloha.
Aloha, for sure. Thank you.